Hello, everyone, and welcome to day 4 of National Apprenticeship Week. I hope everyone is having a lovely afternoon. I'm your host, Andy from Career TV, and it's my pleasure to introduce the team from Zurich. They'll be going over what apprenticeships they have on offer, the recruitment process, tips and tricks to get into the apprenticeship schemes. Remember, there will also be a Q&A at the end of the session, so if you have any questions, just leave them in the Q&A or chat box and we'll come back to them at the end of the webinar. So without further ado, I'll pass on to the Zurich team to continue with our session. There's no audio on the video, guys.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you. Hopefully you've just enjoyed that short video. And I'm just going to check with one of our organisers in the background. Laura, can you just drop me a quick Teams message to let me know you can hear me okay? That would be great. Thank you. I'm Steve Collinson. I'm Chief HR Officer for Zurich here in the UK. It's my absolute pleasure to welcome you to today's event. You'll hear so much more about Zurich and what the organisation is, what we stand for and what we do, but I'm going to give you some introductions and personal perspectives, and hopefully that will be helpful. I love this company and I love my job with an absolute passion. Over the next few minutes, you might hear my take on why. I will try to keep the passion and enthusiasm on the right level, but most importantly, to share why I think you could have the most amazing career here at Zurich. So I'm Steve, I'm the Chief HR Officer. I'm 51 years old, I'm a dad of 2, a proudly out gay man, both in my private life and at work. My partner is called Matt, or Matthew, if we've just had one of those tricky days. He's an A&E doctor. I'm Mancunian by birth, and I live in Southampton. A bit of background, I started in Zurich at 16 years old, so I've been here 34 years. I know I don't look it, but I have. I left school with 9 GCSEs. I didn't go to university. I didn't get a degree. I still don't have one. I started on the front line in our organisation, in our very most junior organisation level, and now find myself in my dream job. My career path has encompassed pretty much every part of our business. I've worked in finance, in operations, in HR, in marketing, in personal lines, in our retail business and our commercial businesses, and have really enjoyed pretty much every job that I've done. And as part of working for Zurich, this pretty awesome global company, I've worked in the UK, of course, that's where I'm from and where I'm based now, but I've also worked for Zurich in Switzerland, in Poland, in America, a little bit of work in Canada and in India as well. So a little bit of background. I'll tell you a bit more about the company in a second. I'm really, really honoured to lead a team of 80 extremely passionate HR people. Together, our mission is to enable everybody at Zurich to do their best work, to live their best lives, and to fulfil the commitments that we've made to our stakeholders together. That's a mission we're really proud of. Zurich is a big global organisation. We are very proudly Swiss. The name kind of gives it away. So in a second, I'm going to tell you more about the Zurich Group and Zurich in the UK, and then a bit back to why I do love this business and my job. So Zurich Insurance Group, we're a leading multi-line insurer. That means we have many different products and services. We serve people and businesses in more than 200 countries and territories around the world. We were founded 150 years ago, and we're aiming to transform insurance. In addition to providing the insurance protection that you would often associate with an insurance company, we're increasingly offering prevention services, such as those that promote well-being and those that enhance climate resilience. Our purpose as an organisation is to create a brighter future together. We aspire to be one of the most responsible and impactful businesses in the world. not in the insurance sector or in financial services, but in the world. We're targeting net zero emissions in our operations by 2030. And in 2020, Zurich launched the Zurich Forest project to support reforestation and biodiversity in Brazil. The Zurich Group globally has about 60,000 employees. Of course, we're proudly headquartered in Zurich, Switzerland. And then Zurich in the UK is very similar. We provide a suite of general insurance, so motor, home and commercial insurance products, and then life insurance products to retail and corporate customers. We supply personal, commercial and local authority insurance through a number of distribution channels, and we offer a really wide range of protection policies that are available online and through financial intermediaries right across the UK. We are operating from about 12 sites around the country, with our largest sites in Birmingham, Farnborough, Glasgow, London, Swindon and Whiteley, but it doesn't mean that you have to live in or near those locations to work for us. And we've got about 4,500 people here in the UK. I'm going to talk a bit before I pass back to one of my colleagues, Laura, to get our session underway properly. But I'm going to talk a bit about, I started this conversation by saying I love my job and I love the organisation. And let me tell you a bit more about why. For the past 5 years in particular, I think we've been building something really special here at Zurich. Our aspiration is to be the best place to work for the widest range of people. And I firmly believe we provide some of the very best reasons to work in financial services. We're a firm that puts our money where its mouth is when it comes to community investment. But don't just take my word for it on why Zurich's a great place to work. Twice a year, we ask our colleagues whether they would recommend Zurich as a place to work. And they often tell us why they would recommend Zurich as a place to work. So I thought I'd pick out the top 3 reasons that our 4,500 colleagues gave when they said they would indeed recommend Zurich as a place to work. The first was the flexible working style. We truly value flexibility here. Many organisations will talk about flexible working, but I think we really bring it to life and live it brilliantly. And I'm sure through today's presentations, you'll hear more about that. And I'm happy to answer questions later too. We offer some really fantastic benefits. Our benefits are among the very best available in the market. From equalised family leave, no matter how you become a parent, to a great pension offering, to the ability to buy and sell holidays when you need more or less, to tech and gadget schemes, to loans for becoming greener at home, and so much more. Our benefit offerings are fantastic. And then the third reason that people gave when they talked about why they would recommend Zurich as a place to work is the working relationships we build around here. I know from previous experience that the team you'll be joining is an extremely friendly, determined and extremely hard-working bunch. We know how to have fun and we're enormously committed to the communities that we live and work in. So let me wrap up. There's a ton more to insurance than you might think. You could ultimately have a career in underwriting, claims, life insurance, sales, distribution, marketing, finance, HR, operations, in digital and tech, in data science, pricing, actuarial, risk management, compliance, engineering, software, robotics, automation. The list is absolutely endless, and I've only touched on a few of the career opportunities that we have. And of course, you could get the opportunity to work in various parts of the UK or all around the world if it interests you. Thanks for listening to my intro. I really hope you go on to apply, and I look forward to seeing some of you at Zurich in the future. And I'm going to pass over to Laura. Laura.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Steve. Welcome, everybody. Thank you so much for joining the call this afternoon. And thank you for Steve there, who always seems to speak so effortlessly and genuinely about his passion for Zurich. Apologies, first of all, for the sound on the video clip that I played at the beginning. I was made aware, I think because I was on mute, the sound didn't come through to you guys, so apologies. It was a very short 30-second video, which is actually our TV ad, which was launched last year. So you may have already seen that. So we do have a jam-packed agenda today, lots to get through, and we will allow for some Q&A time at the end. The purpose of today's session is to give you some information about Zurich as a company, as an employer and what you can expect from our apprenticeship programs here at Zurich. So we've heard from Steve, our Chief HR Officer. I will shortly hand you over to Anthony Lewis, who is our apprenticeship program lead. We will then hear from some people around the business, then back to myself to talk you through our application and assessment process. And then, as I said, some time for some Q&A at the end. Throughout the session, you will see some QR codes that take you to our website, and there will be various prompts throughout for our sort of social media pages and things like that. So without further ado, I'm going to hand over to Ant, who's going to talk to you a little bit more about our apprenticeship programs, what we currently offer, our partners and professional qualifications you can achieve, and also the development opportunities that you get with Zurich through your apprenticeship program. So over to you, Ant.
Thanks, Laura, and hopefully everyone can hear me. I'm in sunny Cardiff today. Would you believe it? Sunny in Cardiff, yes. As a proud Welshman, I can say that. And as Steve alluded to fantastically, as if I teed him up for it, which I didn't. Insurance is so much broader than either you think or you perhaps have no idea what this wonderful world of insurance is about. And our program of apprenticeships that we have available this year are really a testament to that. There's so many different areas of our business looking for people to join them in their team. Each playing their part ultimately to support our customers when they need us. So if I just take you through sort of our insurance-based apprenticeships at the moment at first, they're great. They will really give you the knowledge, skills and behaviours you need to support our customers. That could be whether you're looking to collaborate with customers to understand their needs. And our customers are actually your local cafe all the way to global multi-international retailers. So, there is a broad spectrum of our customers that you might be working with. You might be learning about the skills and techniques that help you really understand this magical world called risk that we always talk about in underwriting and in claims. What cover we can give our customers should a claim arise and ultimately how much they should pay for that. You could also be working on your behavioural skills of understanding how to show empathy in a time of need and a time of crisis for our customers, while collaborating with a lot of our providers to really honour that promise we give our customers when they come to us to make sure we're there for them when we need them. You'll also become a member of the Chartered Institute of Insurance as well. So by completing your apprenticeship, you'll not only get an apprenticeship qualification, but you'll also get an industry recognised qualification issued by the Chartered Institute of Insurance as well. So that's just insurance. Engineering, we also have some engineering apprenticeships available this year. You might not know that we're one of the UK's leading providers of inspection and consultancy services. Sounds very intricate, but things like cranes, escalators, lifts, even your local Costa coffee machine, yes, other suppliers are available, need to be routinely inspected. And it's not just because it avoids accidents, but ultimately it's because it's the law as well. So our engineering surveyor apprentices will actually really gain some fantastic knowledge, skills, behaviours needed to examine and inspect some fantastically interesting equipment and report their findings to our customers so they can really understand how they can stay safe and within the law. Now, marketing, it isn't just about selling something to our customers with flashy adverts. In fact, we call our marketing team, customer team, as the team actually looks broadly around the focus on understanding our customers and how we can support them. So apprentices joining our customer team will learn about how we listen to our customers and understand how we can improve, innovate and deliver fantastic products for them. It could be looking at sustainable events that demonstrate who we are and what support we can give our customers. And it can also be around the creative elements of digital and social media and the fantastic work that goes into our campaigns. You might have seen last year, perhaps not, it was our first sustainable TV advertising campaign where we aimed to limit our carbon footprint last year by upcycling and reusing existing footage rather than traveling to various different locations with a film crew and all the carbon that comes with that. So that is just a quick view of our marketing offering. In data and digital, we need some digital techniques and data to support our people in underwriting, sales and claims, and in the customer team as well. It allows them to make the most effective decisions and helps us analyze the information that we're receiving, create some fantastic new tools, as well as new ways of working as well. Now, Corndale, as you can see on the screen, are one of our providers in this sphere. They actually work in partnership with Imperial College Business School, London, and they really give some fantastic opportunities to spend some virtual fireside time with people from the data industry to really get to grips with things. They've had previous guest speakers like people that work at Fitbit, Google, etc. that really help that. Our digital and technology solutions apprenticeship will learn about and build solutions in a wide range of things such as software, analysis, cybersecurity, and many more. And again, our University of Gloucestershire partnership is fantastic. And in their recent Ofsted inspection, it was really highlighted the positive impact they have on the learners' careers as well. Now, compliance and risk, it does sound as a heading quite, okay, I'll get my sleeping hat on now. But, insurance is an interesting and heavily regulated business, and it's in the market of assessing and taking calculated risks. So taking on too much might mean we're not going to be able to be there for our customers when they need us. And something that our regulators, no doubt, would not be too happy about either. So those joining our compliance and risk teams will, again, achieve a Chartered Insurance Institute qualification, as well as learning more about all the different kinds of risks a business has to handle, and what advice and support as a risk and compliance guru you'll eventually become, you can give colleagues within the business to ensure we adhere to the rules and guidelines that are out there. Which leads me on nicely to finance. We need to take care of our customers' money while they've given it to us. And our finance teams really ensure that we're there for our customers and also that we get paid. Those joining our finance teams will gain all the knowledge, skills, and behaviours expected of someone working in the finance team. They'll also get a qualification through the Association of Accounting Technicians as well. So you'll get the apprenticeship qualification in addition to something else as well. And last but no means least, it's our fantastic people team. So in other businesses, you'll often refer to it as human resources. Our people make the difference to us and to our customers, which is our human resources team in the UK is known as the people team. Now, that could be supporting the development of our people, understanding, planning, and nurturing some fresh talent within our business, partnering with different areas of the business to help them understand how they can do things. And of course, making sure that everyone gets paid on time is one component as well. So there's a world of opportunities for someone joining the people team as an apprentice. You'll also get an industry recognized qualification through the Chartered Institute of Personnel and Development as well. Now, I appreciate that as a very, very quick whistle-stop tour through all our programs, and I'd really encourage you to really engage and look at the website and look at the additional information available there to help you make a decision. But by now, hopefully, you'll get a vibe of the different knowledge, skills, and behaviours and the activities you'll get involved with. But you're not doing it alone, so don't worry. So I don't know, Laura, whether you can skimmy to the next slide for me. So as you can see here, it doesn't just start and end with your apprenticeship. We give a wealth of development opportunities within Zurich as well. I'm not going to spend all the time going through the different ones you can see on the screen there, but the one I'd really like to highlight is our entrepreneurial thinking element. We do this in partnership with our partners Wild Hearts, and our apprentices take part in a fantastic opportunity exploring the UN Sustainable Development Goals. And over 8 weeks, they collaborate, they work together with experts from across our business, across multiple disciplines, to come up with some inspirational, innovative ideas that our business can take forward, but also be part of the execution in those ideas as well. Now, it really ensures our apprenticeships not only focus on the qualification and learning what you need to do there, but you really make a difference and an impact on our sustainability goals as well. Now, that's a lot of responsibility. You're probably thinking, oh my goodness, what am I signing up to? You're not doing it on your own. As you can see here, you will get some fantastic support from us. So whether that be from your immediate line manager, your buddy within your team that will support you through your journey, your apprenticeship coach, which will support you and coach you through your apprenticeship, or people like me who will help support the apprenticeship program, who are in a position to really make sure that we passionately support you in your experience. So finally, before I pass the baton on. We have a wealth of locations forming part of this campaign, and some might mean you need to work in different sites, but really just look at the apprenticeship information you've got on the website there, and reach out to us if there's any questions. And now I think I'm passing back over to Laura, but thank you for listening.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Ant. Some really insightful information there about what you can expect as a Zurich apprentice. So I'm going to show you a very short video clip, this time with sound because I am no longer on mute. So hopefully you get to hear this one. It's a short video clip showing some of our current apprentices talking about why they chose a Zurich apprenticeship, what their experience has been like. And then I'm going to hand you straight over to Libby, who is a claims apprentice, who is on the call live with us today. And she'll be talking to you about her experience with Zurich so far.
At school, I quickly realised that I was much more of a practical learner. I liked the working with people closely and then learning from their experiences that they've already had. So to go down the university route, I felt like it just wasn't for me.
No, I was sort of stuck in this cycle of, they wanted experience, but I didn't have experience.
Think about going to university, but I thought an apprenticeship, especially with Zurich, seemed like it would fulfill my needs in terms of the challenge.
You've got a head start amongst other people that chose to go to university. Amongst that, the company that you're working for also pay for your degree.
Personally, for me, this was just a no-brainer because I just wanted to start my career as soon as I could.
Zurich were one of the first employers that I came across that had good opportunities, lots of different apprenticeships.
Just wanted to become independent, start earning as soon as I could, and really just make my mark on an organisation that cared.
The insurance industry does have like a breadth of roles that you can join and be part of. Insurance isn't what I perceived it to be at all.
A lot more exciting than I initially thought.
In terms of for a career, I think there's so much opportunity in insurance. It's so varied. You wouldn't think of all sort of different aspects you get in insurance. There's not just the claims handling and underwriting. I mean, the job I'm doing now, I didn't even know that existed before I started at Zurich. It just shows that there's so many different doors that can open once you get into a company like this.
Global.
Flexible, inclusive, innovation, passionate,
Transparent.
surprising, flexible, empowering,
Fun.
caring, ambitious,
Professional.
flexible,
Sustainable.
Welcoming.
friendly,
Friendly.
do it.
And I've already decided that I'm going to stay with Zurich.
Over to you, Libby, if you're with us. Thank you.
Hiya, thanks, Laura. Hi everyone. So just a little introduction to me firstly. So I've been with Zurich now for about 17 months, and I started my apprenticeship in September 21. I've been enrolled in the claims apprenticeship since day one, and originally I had actually applied for 2 roles because I was, as I'm sure many of you are, unsure on what role I actually wanted to do because there's so many opportunities here. So for me with claims, I work in marine and fine art and specie claims, which basically is the shipping of goods. And if there's a claim that comes in, or if something's damaged or goes missing, I'm the person they call to help sort that out. So the first bit of advice I'd say I'd probably give to all of you out there is, if you're looking at all the roles sort of thinking, I don't know what I want to do, there's so many opportunities, how do I know which one's best suited for me? I would just recommend reading through all of them, seeing what's available to you, what you think would best suit your skills, and honestly, just go for it. Because for me, I started this when I was 16 years old. So I came in straight after my GCSEs, which was quite a daunting experience, as I'm sure you can all imagine. And in all honesty, a lot of people were a bit skeptical about me doing it, purely because I think where it's a little bit unheard of, and a lot of people tend to do their A levels, then go to into apprenticeships or uni and things like that. It was a completely unique experience. But honestly, if you're in that position or in at any age, I would seriously recommend that you do this. I mean, the different opportunities that you get after your apprenticeship, I'm towards the end of mine now, is remarkable. I mean, I'm going to look to do my level 4 diploma qualification after this, and I want to become fully qualified. I've already decided, like I think someone said in the video, I want to stay here because the support and the community you get here is just remarkable. It is so good. I don't think there's been a moment throughout my apprenticeship where I've been in a situation or unsure of something and felt like I've had no one to turn to, because everyone here, like Anthony was sort of saying earlier, is your friend and is someone that you're close with, and you can turn to anyone here because the community is just that strong. With regards to things like, I think I saw someone put in a chat earlier about different opportunities and projects, unique projects you can do. As Anthony was talking about earlier, we do work with Wild Hearts to do a different project every year. So I did mine in May 22 and is currently still ongoing with mine. As me and my team, we decided that we wanted to promote apprenticeships further through social media, because we feel like there's a lack of awareness for just in society in general, and that the route isn't discussed enough through schools. So we felt that if we promoted this through different platforms like TikTok, Instagram, and just different social media channels, that it will hopefully help people like yourselves who are interested in doing an apprenticeship in the financial sector understand more a little bit about what it is, because I know it's something that you don't really learn a lot about at school. And for us, we sort of just felt that it was a little bit almost unfair, in terms of a lot of people feel like they have to go to A level, like do their A levels or go to university, when it's, you know, I've been here since I was 16. It's not, you don't have to. School's not for everyone. If it's not something you want to do, I would highly recommend this route, because you just get such a hands-on experience with the role, and the skills and everything I've developed since starting here. My confidence has grown massively since I started. Mixing and meeting different people on a daily basis is just amazing. The flexibility of the role, where I can, like now, work from home, or I can be in the office like I was yesterday, and it just gives you the best of both. And in that video, for me, I kind of think no brainer. But yeah, I just honestly would recommend doing it. If you're nervous about applying or anything like that, I would honestly just recommend you go for it. There's nothing wrong with just applying just to see what it's like, even if it's just you want to apply for, I don't know, maybe 1 or 2 roles because you're not sure what you want to do. That's something I did, and I found that I landed in the role that fortunately for me was what I wanted to do. But I mean, you never know. So I would definitely say you should do that if that's something you're unsure on. In terms of the apprenticeship itself, you can take part in various different things. We have ZCT days, so it's sort of where you get to go, like you get to take part in something. So I know there's ones where people go to schools and they'll do talks about various things to do with Zurich. I think some, I believe, have done apprenticeships and things like that, and it's essentially just a charity event where you can just do something different and help society. For a day, we get 3 days of those a year, and I love doing those. I've signed up to one already for later this year, and for me, I find that they're such different experiences, and you get to learn so much just from doing that, purely because it's something completely different. You're like, it's a different day, you're meeting new people. As I say, you meet new people all the time in this industry, but it just really does, it helps. I think it helps you, like in yourself, almost as much as you feel like, obviously, because it's ZCT Day, you're giving to everyone, like society as well. And it's just such a good thing. And there's so many various things out there for ZCT Days. They're amazing. But yeah, I think for me that was pretty much a whistle-stop tour of like my main highlights, I'd say, for the apprenticeship program and with Zurich in general. So I think I will pass back to Laura.
Perfect. Thanks, Libby. That was really useful information just to hear how your time at Zurich has been so far. It sounds really positive. Just going to show another quick video. We've got Daniel next, who couldn't join us on the call today, but he has kindly done a video for us just again to talk to you about his time with us at Zurich. He is one of our IT and Ops apprentices. So I'm going to hit play on that now.
Hi, I'm Daniel. I'm 18. I'm from Birmingham, and I'm doing an IT apprenticeship at Zurich. I'm currently studying digital technology solutions at the University of Gloucestershire. There's a load of different sectors within insurance. So within Zurich, I'm doing the Ops and IT apprenticeship. Within Ops and IT, it's about 10 different rotations that you could do. I'm in the service delivery, where I would answer users' questions and sort of add or delete software from users' devices, or keep users' devices, whatnot. And inside service delivery, there's also different sectors that you can get involved in. So insurance is one of the greatest things ever, really. The reason I wanted to go into apprenticeship initially is because I could put the practice of learning what I learned from the university into practice into the office life, such as using the software, software coding experience. We've got a head start amongst other people that chose to go to university. Amongst that, the company that you're working for also pay for your degree, which is just great. Obviously, when somebody's paying for your degree, you don't have to pay back any loans or debts. Along with that, you've got that experience, about 3 years experience, which you could take on into progressing into the career world, and which is just great. Yeah. So the support I get from Zurich is immense, not only from colleagues and managers and different co-workers, but you've also got the buddy system. So the buddy system is previous apprentices that would have done the apprenticeship or would have 1 year above you. We sort of catch up regularly, and also they give me advice on what to do and how to do it and who to get in contact with. So the buddy scheme at Zurich is great, and I've already decided that I'm going to stay with Zurich as it's sort of that support that you get.
Okay, so another really positive experience there from Daniel, who plans to be with us for a long time, which is really nice to hear. I'm going to go on to a short video, which is actually from one of our hiring managers, who is a huge advocate of our apprenticeship scheme. So I'm going to play that for you now.
I'm Stu Beavis. I head up our visualization and insights practice within the Zurich UK business, and I will be responsible for looking after a number of the data apprentices that we're looking to recruit this year. We've got a range of teams across the business who use data analytics. We've got our data science teams who are doing some really, really cool stuff at the moment with machine learning. We've also got other teams out in the business then who are using our central data assets to essentially mine that data and get insight from it. So you'll develop a range of core skills as a data apprentice that will focus on communication, stakeholder engagement, and building stakeholder relationships. Also focusing on curiosity and effectiveness as well. So that will really be about using the data then to help the business drive decision making and understanding around our customers and our portfolios. Initially, it will be taking that curiosity and inquisitivity and really looking at analysing our data. What is that data telling us? What meaning can we derive from that? You'll then go on to build core technical skills. So you will learn something called SQL, structured query language, but you'll also be working on a couple of leading business intelligence platforms, one being Power BI and one being ClickSense. The apprentices will also be working through an apprenticeship program and studying through one of our apprenticeship providers. You will get a study day each week in order to study towards that qualification, but you'll also be working with experts across the data teams on a day-to-day basis who will not only help you with some technical skills, but also with understanding around our different business areas and translating that data into meaning and in information and insight. If you're thinking about applying for the data apprentice role, I would suggest just going for it. I wish that when I was at college, that I had an opportunity to actually apply for a data apprentice role like this. I went to university and actually I've ended up in a completely different career path than what I studied for. So I really wish that I had the opportunity to apply for a role like this back at that point.
So moving on to our application and assessment process. If you are feeling positive about what you've heard on the call so far and you are considering applying, here's how. So I would recommend initially that you start with our website just to have a good view of all of our opportunities. So it's zurich.co.uk/careers/apprenticeships. You'll see that throughout the slides and, as I mentioned, the QR codes as well. There is full information on the website of all of our opportunities, including the skill requirements, location options, employee benefits. It's all there for you to go and take a look at. Just a couple of key things to note. The window is the 6th of February to the 19th of March. You can only apply for one program, so consider this carefully. I know Libby mentioned there that she did apply for a few. It is always our preference that you really hone in on one of those programs that you feel that you would be most suited to. If you're really unsure and there's perhaps 2 or 3 you're considering, then do email us through to our early careers mailbox. But as I suggest, you should really apply for just the one. As you can imagine, applicant volumes are particularly high, so that is our preference. So have a real think about where your strengths would sit best, what you have an interest in progressing in, and the location, really important. So most areas do work on a hybrid basis, a split of office and home working, but particularly in the early days, it's really important that you're close to an office so you can be supported by your manager and your buddy. The online application form, it's nothing too complex, nothing that you won't probably be used to already. It's a simple application form, but this is where we do have our initial eligibility questions, such as qualifications, right to work in the UK. Once you've passed this initial application stage, you'll receive a link to complete an online assessment. If you do not meet the minimum requirements at that stage, your application will be rejected and there will be no assessment required. So at that point, you'll know as to whether you go on to the assessment stage. The online assessment phase is phase 2. This is a strengths-based assessment. So as I said, if you do pass that initial application stage, you'll receive a link to complete the assessment online. When you enter the assessment via the link that you receive via email, you'll be presented with 6 different tiles, all relating to the Zurich ways of working, our culture, what's important to us. And each tile will have a number of workplace scenarios and then a number of options on how you would approach each of the scenarios. There is no right or wrong answer here. You simply have to drag and drop the different options in the order that you're most likely to approach the situation to the least likely that you'll deal with that situation. So it's purely based on sort of strengths and personality traits and things like that. The assessment itself isn't timed, but we do recommend allowing for around an hour to give you the time to work through each part of the assessment. Once you've submitted your assessment answers, it's important to note that you won't hear from us until after the window is closed on the 19th of March. So there's no need to chase or follow up in between that time. If you don't hear from us for a couple of weeks, it's completely normal. Due to the sheer volume of applicants that come through to us, we do need to allow time to review that. So we won't send out next steps to anybody until after that window is closed. And the third and final step after the assessment is the interview stage. So you will either be rejected at assessment phase, but if you do get to the next stage, that will be interview, where you will have an interview with the hiring manager plus a second interviewer who will support them. That's usually somebody else in the team that you'd be joining. Some streams are opting for face-to-face interviews, but it is more than likely that you will be interviewed virtually, and our early careers recruitment team will reach out to you to arrange that interview at some point for during April. I just wanted to quickly show you what you'll be presented with when you go onto the assessment. Apologies, it's a slightly blurred image, but just so you get a feel for what you'll be presented with, you'll see here that we've got the categories is diverse workforce, going to the extra mile, working in collaboration, supporting a more sustainable future, your preferences, and working with numbers. There's the submit button up here and your progress, so you can see how far you are through the assessment and how far you've got to go. There's a tutorial and help option as well, which I'd recommend that you really make use of before you actually start the assessment. And just moving on very quickly, because I'm conscious of time and I do want to allow for some Q&A at the end. Just some interview hints and tips. Some of them are probably really obvious, but it's a really good time to highlight these. When you do have your interview, whether that be face-to-face or virtually, make your motivations clear. So what drives you? What do you enjoy? What are you looking for from a Zurich apprenticeship? What are your passions and your career aspirations? So really make sure that comes through in the interview. Really important, probably the most important, is do your research. It's really important to research Zurich as a company, our products and services, and any additional information which is specific to the program that you've applied for. This will really help you go into the interview with more confidence and ready to answer any questions that you'll be asked. Be authentic. Steve mentioned at the beginning that we really encourage our employees to be themselves, to be their best selves, and that is no different for our applicants. Be yourself, ask questions, and be curious. And similar to the above, show your personality, be yourself throughout the interview. We are not looking for experts in the fields that you've applied for from a technical perspective. That's what you'll be learning when you hopefully join us. But it's really important that your personality and that kind of thing shines through. Another really important one, practice talking in front of the camera. And today is a great example of how there can be some technical glitches. So it's really important that you practice how to speak naturally in front of the camera. We're all in a very virtual world now. We're all very confident in speaking to the camera, but it won't always feel so natural. Make sure you have kind of clear camera, clear audio, a good internet connection, and just have a couple of practice runs before the actual interview. And more linked to the assessment rather than the interview phase is practice tests. So make use of those practice questions at the assessment phase, just so you can know what to expect and you can go into these things with a bit more confidence on what to expect. And lastly, moving on, just so we can allow some time for Q&A, how to apply. I've mentioned it several times, our website, you've got the QR code there as well. Please head to our socials, YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn and Facebook. Find out more. I mean, that's a really great way to do your research ahead of any interview that you might have, or before you actually apply. That might help you kind of really hone in on what program to apply for. And last but not least, we are also now on TikTok. Well, our apprentices are running a TikTok page for us. So it's all very modern, and it's a really good way to kind of tap into the life of our apprentices, what they get up to, a day in the life of, snippets of their typical day at Zurich. So again, QR code there for you, or give them a follow, Apprentice Life. So yes, really encourage you to head to our socials and our website for more information. But we're going to head over to some Q&A now, and hopefully get through as many as we can on the call. Thank you.
Well, there we go into the questions. A few of them have already been answered by the Zurich team, so we'll try and decipher which ones haven't been. Talking about our apprentices, obviously, are they able to speak, or are we able to ask them questions for their answers?
Yes, I think, well, we might see if Verity might be able to answer some questions for us. I don't know if she stayed on the call after her technical glitches, but yes, and join back on the call. Libby, if you're still there, feel free to pop your camera on and join us, and we can go through the questions together. I don't know, Ant should still be here, but I'm not sure. He may have, no, there he is. Cool.
Well, a question for your apprentices. Is there any misconceptions that your apprenticeship had at the start that maybe you thought, oh, when I joined, oh, hopefully this isn't going to happen, or maybe there's something that was much grander than what you expected from your apprenticeship?
Not for me really. If anything, it was like the opposite, in the sense that I kind of didn't know what to expect, and it completely like exceeded my expectations and more, in the sense that where I didn't really realize how much you could do just internally, like how many roles you can sort of like try if you want to. I've worked in a few other roles as well, like just sort of doing a bit of shadowing and things like that, and the exposure you get is remarkable. So yeah, so I suppose the answer to that is no, not in a negative way anyway.
Great.
And I'll try. I don't know if you can hear me or not.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Fantastic. So logging off and logging back onward. So for me, I think it was that I would just be an apprentice. That's the kind of conception I had when I joined a large organisation around come in, do your day job, you won't be asked for anything really to do in terms of your opinion on where the business is going or where your team is going, but that was totally not the case. I was always involved in conversations because I was seen as almost the future of Zurich, and they really leveraged that sort of fresh pair of eyes, and also that it was like young, fresh talent here to help revolutionise and take our organisation even further. So that was the biggest thing that I took away from it. They valued my opinion, which was fantastic and so refreshing.
Great, amazing. Question from Laura here. What is the biggest challenge the insurance industry faces right now?
Oh, that's a tough question. I wish Steve was back on the call to answer that, because he's probably got a much better idea from a higher level. I would say, and I think some of the questions in the chat I saw alluded to this, but there's a massive pressure on sort of sustainability, being more sort of environmentally friendly, and we are very much focused on that as a company, but certainly we feel the pressure from it, and clearly it's at the forefront of everybody's mind. So I would say that, as well as just kind of moving with the times, and just remaining competitive, particularly around our ways of working. So there's a huge focus, you could see from Stu's video there, around sort of robotics, automation, just ensuring that our time spent is value added rather than kind of those more old-fashioned ways of working, so to speak. So yeah, I think I would say it's just the sustainability piece is a big focus for us over the coming years, and yes, and just generally keeping up with the times, so to speak.
Laura, I think I would, from my point of view, I've done recruitment recently, and I think talent is another challenge that we have as an industry. We've seen jobs, HR, Laura will be able to tell you, has been so hot this year with people moving about, which is fantastic for us because there is a lot of spaces open up for fantastic, really good new opportunities within the organisation. But this is why you've got so many people behind a programme like this that are so passionate about it, is because we want to bring in brand new talent and future proof our organisation really with you guys.
Yeah.
Great.
Thanks, Verity.
Amazing. Charlotte says, for the apprentices now, how do you find the balance between working full-time and studying / assignments?
This is an interesting question because it's actually something I get asked quite a lot. So for me personally, I think the key to doing this and doing it well is to be organised. For me, I've always been quite an organised person anyway, as I get stressed if I'm not. So I found that quite simple. But yeah, I think it's definitely a challenge because there's definitely times where either your work stuff is like going crazy or the apprenticeship stuff, you've got a lot to submit. But I think if you just keep on top of it enough and know sort of whether you're coming and going each day and know exactly what sort of you're going to do each week, you should be fine. It's only really if you sort of leave everything to the last minute, then that might cause you problems. But yeah, I think structure is key to that.
Yeah, I agree. And as Steve said, and that you've got the time there 1 day a week for your studies, so it's not all on you guys to go home and do it at night time. There might be some weeks that does happen because you've got certain apprenticeship tasks that might overlap, but make use of that day. And the managers within Zurich are all really open to taking that day, so you shouldn't feel any sort of barrier on you're not having your study day today. You need to work that sort of circumstance should be really few and far between. So you've got a day a week, which I thought was, to be honest, I never really used it because I love my job so much and I just factored in time at home, but it's more than enough to help you with your apprenticeship course.
Great. Amazing answers. Moving on, question from Matthew here. Can he do a role in accountancy but also do work in the net zero by 2030 pledge?
Oh yeah, I've literally just tried replying on chat, so hopefully Matthew that answers it. But yeah, just for anyone that hasn't seen the chat message, we all have a part to play. You know, whether you work with Zurich or not, in the pledge for sustainability. So whether you join us in the accountancy team, insurance, elsewhere, there will be an element that you will be supporting our sustainability, can't even say it, sustainability goals, whether that be through doing the Wild Hearts SDG campaign and activities that apprentices each year will be part of, or whether there is something broader that you can contribute to. So yes, don't worry, you're not left alone. You will be able to engage with any activities that happen there.
Great, amazing. With our apprentices question from me now, what is the next step in your career?
For me now, so I'm due to qualify, I think, at the end of April. And then after that, I want to do my diploma and then I want to do my ACII. I'm doing it all back to back because coming straight out of school, it's all I really know anyway. So I figured it's probably better to just keep in that mindset and go forward with it. And work-wise, I just want to progress in my role and become an expert in my field is the aim. So
amazing.
For me, so sorry you guys missed me and I had some technical issues. So I was apprentice actually quite a few years ago, back in 2016. So I've been through my apprenticeship, completed my DIP, and completed my ACII. I'd done that in July of last year, so I sort of took 6 months or so to myself to enjoy not studying for a period of time, and I'm actually in conversations with Ant at the moment on what's the next apprenticeship for me on a probably a leadership view. I've now got the fantastic opportunity of managing people, which is great. Every day is different, so it's just about enhancing those skills and looking at an apprenticeship for leadership. So yeah, that's my next steps soon, and we'll see what happens after that.
Great. Obviously, expanded on that point where you're developing these values through your apprenticeship, and you leave an apprenticeship and you still have those values that you've obtained. Is there something that you've taken with you from your apprenticeship that you still value today, or a skill you have?
Yeah, for me, I would say just be inquisitive and ask the questions that everyone else is afraid to ask, because when I first joined, everyone says no question's a stupid question, and it took me a few days to get comfortable with that sort of theory. But actually, when I am looking at individuals within the organisation and they do ask questions that you can tell they're a bit worried about asking, they're actually normally very good, and there's another 5 people in the room that's thinking of exactly the same question and is just too scared to put their hand up. So yeah, be inquisitive, but it also teaches you a really good work ethic of working your day-to-day job, but also developing your personal development on your apprenticeship. So as Libby said, keep it going. Once you're in the cycle, keep doing it, because once you move away from it, I know that for having 6 months off, it's quite hard to get back into, but it definitely teaches you that work ethic and organisation of managing both day job and personal development.
Mm-hmm. Great. Amazing. Chris says here, is the webinar recorded? Yes, Chris, it is recorded. It'll be on our website within the week, and our YouTube as well. That is all the questions. I believe we have answered them all. From the Zurich team, they've answered it as well. A big thank you to the team at Zurich, taking us through their apprenticeships, what they have on offer, and their experiences as well. I hope everyone in the chat found it very insightful and useful on their, if they want to apply for Zurich, go for it.
Sorry,
go ahead.
Sorry, just one final point, because I'm conscious most people will duck off probably very quickly now they've got something else to move on to. One point I forgot to add during the application and assessment process, just for your awareness, that at the assessment stage, once you've completed that, even if you don't make it onto the final interview stage, you will receive a detailed feedback report via email. So that's just probably useful for you going forwards, even if you don't make it onto the next stage. That is something that we offer as well. So I just wanted to call that out before everybody ducks off the call. But we are looking forward to receiving some applications from you. Hopefully today has given you some kind of food for thought, and we've really enjoyed hosting for you today. So thank you.
Thank you very much, guys. I've also put Zurich's roles that we have on our website, in the link in the group in the wee chat. If you want to click on that, there are some roles that Zurich have to offer on our website as well. Thank you very much, guys. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks, everybody.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.
Good afternoon.
Bye.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.